We live, we live in a time of great changes. These great changes is happening in the world of 2025. But before we dwell into this subject, perhaps we might want us to study the history of great thinkers in the time of changes as a kind of preview of how people since in the past dealt with the problems of the world. To start with, I will begin with St. Augustine. St. Augustine lived in a time when the Western Roman Empire was crumbling. The so called barbarians, or the non Christians, or the non Romans, were making a lot of conquering in many parts of the Roman Empire. Augustine, who was in Africa, felt the pressure of the invaders, and his city, Hippo, was once even put under a siege. So he was very depressed, and he even wrote, "What would happen to us if Rome should fall?" Nonetheless, he did not just run away. He founded a way to deal with such problems. And one concrete thing he managed to do was to write The City of God. In that book, he tried to distinguish between the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of the earth. The Christians belong to the kingdom of heaven. The Christians are like the Platonists, the disciples of Plato. They wanted to and they to study the form or true knowledge, and he united Christian teaching with the teaching of Plato, and with that he created a theology that lasts almost 1,000 years, and it saved the Catholic world when the empire of Western Rome collapsed. The second example is that of Thomas Aquinas. He was born in a time when the Muslims were taking over the world. The Muslims discovered Aristotle. They also were the best mathematicians, doctors. They produced the best army, and they also produced some of the best cities in the world. Europe at that time was just a group of small kingdoms, and there were not a single power that could confront the Muslim influence, whether in thinking, whether in technology, whether in medicine, whether in education, whether in city planning. At that time, there was also the problem of heresies. There were people such as the Epigensians who believed in a very dualistic world. That is, a world of the material world versus the spiritual world. And these two dualistic forces caused confusion. And also, it meant that it would affect the development of history.